All right, tonight, right now, we are deciding about sides for Feast Week, Food Network. I picked an American classic. I just thought, you know what, let me go eye into the storm for Thanksgiving. We all know we love that Americana. You know you want it. This is a dish I did not ever eat as a kid. You know how people always say, childhood, reminiscence, unicorns, elves, rainbows. This has nothing to do with my childhood. This has to do with the adult me wanting to remain a kid. So I am making sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top, the classic. But a simple version that I like, it starts by making a caramel. I've got a cup of dark brown sugar in here. I like the dark brown stuff. Why, Alex, do you like dark over light? Well, for this, anything I can do to shorten my shopping list and my ingredient list this time of year to get my Thanksgiving table done, I'm gonna do it. For me, the dark brown sugar, it has that molasses note, so I don't have to get molasses. Just use that dark brown sugar. 1 cup in a pan with nothing else. Medium-ish heat, you see that? I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. Whenever I have sugar, I add a pinch of salt. That's just like, you know, paying taxes. You know you gotta do it. Gotta put a little bit of salt in with that sugar. It makes the sugar more flavorful. Because a lot of sweet, it's just dull. You know, like someone who's super nice and they're never rude. After a while, you're like, you know what? I need you to be a little spicy. Okay, how do we make this spicy? Pumpkin pie spice, all in one. We don't have to get all nutmeg, allspice, ginger, cinnamon, get out 17 containers. 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice going right in there. And about a half a cup of water. That just kind of helps get the caramel going. You do this, and if you do nothing more, your whole kitchen's gonna smell like Thanksgiving. No one's even gonna care what you're cooking. People will just randomly come from other parts of your house and just start eating whatever's there. Bread, peanut butter, cake, a wheel of brie. You just don't know what's gonna happen. Once you add that pumpkin pie spice, people, really. It's like a seduction dinner on high speed. And that's what Thanksgiving's all about, really, right? The other funny thing to me about Thanksgiving is every year I get asked the same set of questions. How do I cook my turkey? What's stuffing? What's dressing? What temperature? How much turkey do I need to buy? Alex, I'm having 600 people over and I have 1 14-pound turkey. Is this enough? I love how we just forget what we did every year. And as I say this, my camera was starting to get a little grumpy. Apparently, according to Cook's Illustrated magazine, one of the things that people fear the most doing at home is turning a sugar into a caramel, which is part of why I really wanted to do this. Now, I've added water. Again, let's remember, this is just the water and the sugar. If your caramel, or for that matter, anything, starts to bubble up and overflow, drop something metal in it, and it'll calm it down right away, because the cold metal lowers the temperature of what's in the pan. That's a great way to buy yourself a minute. Throw a spoon in there, throw anything you've got, and it'll buy you a minute. I love that, because I'd rather do that than clean up the mess when things overflow. And yes, even the ICAG, pans overflow at my house. I'm human too. All right, so this is looking really good. You see what's happening here? Thing is, if you start with dark brown sugar, the caramel happens quickly, right? I'm gonna add a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. You know you got it in your cupboard. That $2 bottle you use to make vinaigrettes, I know you got it, right? That little bit of acidity keeps this dish really bright, and that's a really good way to balance sweetness.
We have a question.
Question.
Okay, so from John.
Yes, Ava?
Is it better to cook all your side dishes first and then do the turkey first?
That's my daughter, Ava. I will disclose. I'm being interviewed by an overqualified interviewer, my daughter. This is what I'd say. A balanced menu, you have half your dishes are either cold, room temperature, or completely made in advance. And then the other half, I make day of stovetop. I have 1 potato gratin or some type of gratin, this, sweet potatoes. As soon as the turkey comes out and it's on top of the stove resting, and I'm making the gravy, I have a gratin that I throw right in the oven. So once that turkey comes out, you've got parking space in a roaring hot oven for at least 2 side dishes. So you should have like 2 gratins, maybe a sweet potato and a potato, or a turnip or a root vegetable that goes right in the oven and just bakes for that 45 minutes while you're getting all your turkey together. And then just pull everything out and you look like a rock star. Mac and cheese, you know, make the turnip gratin. 3 people will eat it and really love you. You've got those 2 vegetarian friends that are really grumpy because all you gave them was mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce. You know what I mean? Go outside your comfort zone a little bit. So I would say at least half of them make in advance. The other big thing is set your table in advance, okay? If you want to go all Ina with it and get all the tablescape stuff, get Jeffrey and the roast chicken and the tulips, do it. Do whatever you want to do, but get that done the night before. People come over, your table's set, you have a little cheese charcuterie board and a couple side dishes. People feel like they're going to come back next year to your house, you know? One year my mom got caught. Some guests came early and she was basting the turkey in her nightgown. She likes to deny it, but I am traumatized. They left, those guests. They couldn't piece it together, you know what I mean? All right, so the caramel's done. I've got some sweet potatoes and I'm just cutting them to fill the gratin dish. They're fully cooked. I cooked them for an hour and a half at about 450. They're tender, fully cooked, but they're still holding their shape, and I just peeled them, right? Now I'm cutting them into nice hearty wedges, like about an inch, inch and a half thick. The great thing about Thanksgiving is if you're cooking, no matter what you're doing, people have to love you because you made dinner. Here's the dish. You see I already started to fill it. I'll just layer these last ones on top. I like to intersperse them so that the marshmallow, the caramel can fall in all the crevices. It also just looks beautiful, right? And this is simple. I tell you, I take the sweet potatoes, I wash them, I dry them, and I throw them in the oven. I don't get romantic. Don't cover them with foil, prick them with a fork, all that. I don't do any of that. Don't tell anybody. It's our secret. Make it easy. All right. I don't have any seasoning on this. If this were 10 years ago, I would have had you individually season every side of the sweet potato with salt and pepper. Now I kind of like that there's some bites that are salty and some bites that are sweet. So it's only when they're all interspersed in the pan that I then just evenly season them with salt. And that way some bites are saltier than others. That's what makes food exciting, when every bite is a little different. At least that keeps me eating forever. Pepper. Because you have so much sweetness in here, the cracked black pepper is so good. You don't really need any spices. Now for that caramel. This smells good. Honestly, this little red wine vinegar caramel we just made, take a nose bath. Can you smell it? You know you smell it. You could literally pour this over pancakes, French toast, waffles. You could look up some really cool, like dramatic Food Network recipe where they're doing French toast layered up to the ceiling, and just pour this kind of caramel with the red wine in it, red wine vinegar in it. People will not know why it's different, and you won't tell them, you know, because these kinds of secrets we have together, this is what, you know, it's that little chefy touch. Yeah, fantastic acidity. All right, just pour it over there. Or spoon it really slow-mo, because it's feast week, and because you know you're going to be watching the Ultimate Thanksgiving Challenge, the finale tonight at 9 p.m. You're getting sleepy. I'm hypnotizing you with caramel. Are you going to watch it or what? It's only in a few hours. If you're not going to watch it, set your DVR. Look at that. You see that brown sugar? Look how easy this was. Water, brown sugar, a little vinegar, a little salt, right? You don't like marshmallows? Stop here. Just bake the sweet potatoes, keep them hot, spoon the caramel sauce over them, put some chopped parsley. Your friends will ask for the marshmallows though. You know what I mean? So make like a little dish for yourself on the side and then put marshmallows on the rest. This is actually making me hungry. You have a question, Ava?
Okay, from Amy. What is your favorite dessert on Thanksgiving?
Wow. Amy, it's a tie. I have a sour cream pumpkin pie that I make where you whip egg whites and you fold egg whites and sour cream into the canned pumpkin to make the filling, and it's kind of a fluffy pie, like a fluffy pumpkin pie, souffle-y. That's really good. Tied with brownies, if you can believe it. And I'll tell you why. No one talks about chocolate at Thanksgiving. People are all about their cranberries and their pecans and corn and cornmeal pudding, and I love all that. But I want either a brownie or a chocolate chip cookie on my table with all those pies. It's pie, 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 right? Everything looks the same, right? It's like, you know, when you're dating and someone new comes on the scene and you're super excited. Think about dating a pan of brownies or chocolate chip cookies this Thanksgiving. See how you can change it up. Also, Christmas is all about cookies. I need like a cookie preview at Thanksgiving to start thinking about it, you know? Why does it have to be all about pie? Right, Ava?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
All right, look at that. So you could just heat these sweet potatoes up and stop here with a brown sugar red wine caramel, or you can keep going with the classic marshmallows. I like the big ones, okay? They have those enormous ones. I kind of like those too, but I'm gonna pretend I don't. I don't like those really big marshmallows. This is medium, you know, this is kind of old school. The mini marshmallows, come on guys, they belong in cocoa, you know what I mean? And they're like rock hard, the bag, you bought it 6 months ago, it's at the back of your cabinet. You drop them in the hot chocolate hoping they kind of fluff up. This is the perfect size. I lay them out in a dish in a single layer so that I can season them very evenly. Now the thing about marshmallows is they're naughty, right? Like they're sweet, they're whatever, they're filled with mischief. They need a little richness. This dish actually has no fat, right? Sweet potatoes, caramel. So I just put a little bit of melted butter. I'm gonna treat these marshmallows a little bit just before I put them on top. So just a little bit of butter in a single layer and just mix it around a little bit, right? I'm literally buttering up these marshmallows so they can live their best life, okay? It's the only way to have a Feast Week marshmallow. Otherwise, it's just a marshmallow. Sorry, my daughter Ava is wearing a pumpkin pie costume right now.
Try it, Mom?
Yeah, I'll put it on. Okay, so the marshmallows, 2 tablespoons of butter. Yeah, so my favorite dessert. Okay. And is this it or what? Yeah. Oh my God. My mother's gonna call me about this. You know, Al, it's your mom on the phone and I'm meaning to talk to you about where your career is going. You know, now you need to dress up as a piece of pie. Oh my God. I like the whipped cream though. I mean, it's a little light for my taste. Do you agree?
Yeah.
The whipped cream ratio for the pie is a little off. Ava, what do you think? More whipped cream?
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh my God. Feast Week. Are you watching Ultimate Thanksgiving Challenge? I'm dressed as a piece of pie. Just do it. Okay, can I put the pie aside? Okay, great. Thanks, Ave.
Yeah, sure.
Butter on the marshmallows. 2 tablespoons. This needs a little heat. We've got the sweet, we've got the richness, we've got the earthiness. A little bit of cayenne, about a half a teaspoon. This stuff is spicy, cayenne pepper, right? But it's really vibrant and beautiful. It's very orange and on brand for Food Network. That's actually why I chose it, you know? This is the moment of the cayenne. But I notice when people season stuff, they just dump the salt or they dump the spice all in one place. We want to crop dust these marshmallows. We want them to all be seasoned evenly. I just take a little strainer, any kind you have. I put the cayenne right in the strainer. Just pour it in there gently so it's, see how it's just sitting on top? And then we just crop dust. Just shake it and see how they're all getting seasoned evenly? This is such a great tip for when you add any spices to any recipe. Sprinkle an even layer over it. I can smell the heat of that cayenne. Now each one has a little bit of butter and the moisture from the butter helps that cayenne to stick. And now we just park these marshmallows in all the crevices. Put this dish together like you want to eat it. Park a marshmallow wherever you think it's going to create that goo factor. See that? You can also just melt down the marshmallows and pour it over the top if you want. That's possible too. I really want to kind of make the unmentionable named puff rice cereal treats with marshmallow and just pour that over that. But I'll wait to do that. I'm staying on brand for now. Scoop up that butter and that cayenne as you pick the marshmallows up. you like the way they're seasoned already? Because you get the marshmallow and it's just kind of dull, you know? Like the sweet potato went through hair and makeup and got an evening gown, and the marshmallows, they got nothing. It's come out of the bag in sweatpants, hair in a bun. Not fair. So that's what that butter and that cayenne does. Because look at that. That just looks like something, right? That looks ready for the close-up. And your family's watching and judging you. If you're hosting, you know what a tough crowd your friends and your family are. They come over like, oh, it's great, I had such a great time. The turkey was dry. I didn't like the side dishes. You know, that's my mom. The minute she takes a bite, it's good except for X, Y, Z, A, B, C. It's actually how I started my career as a chop judge. My mother trained me early. Find 5 things that are wrong with this dish. This is making me hungry. Look at this. Is the turkey next, David? You want me to dress as a turkey?
Yeah.
That's what you want next? All right. Oh my God.
You do it, Mom.
Only for you. How are you guys ever going to take me seriously after this? Do you think I could wear this to set? You've been chopped. Do you think anybody would actually feel chopped if I wore this? No, huh? The best thing I ever ate is turkey. I really like this look. I should just go to the restaurant like this, no? Maybe I should cook Thanksgiving in this. Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your favorite part of the turkey? Because mine is the wing. Oh my God, I'm taking this off. Someone just showed me a picture. All right. So we're getting those last little bits. And this is fun to put together. You can put this all together, leave it room temperature on your counter. And then when the turkey comes out and you've got that half an hour, 45 minutes where you're cutting it and making gravy, this is baking away. And then you just bring it to the table. I think the marshmallow ratio is about right. When a recipe calls for like 10 ounces of marshmallows or whatever, and the bag has 16 ounces, you know what you do, right? Just put the whole bag on. Like when I make chocolate chip cookies, I just put the whole bag of chips in there. I'm not gonna measure the chips, just put them all. Look at that. This is also beautiful. It's very American, I love it. Put a couple so they're next to each other so they create that little pocket of goo, and then everybody goes for that with their spoon. So simple. Now we just put this in the oven. The potatoes are cooked. The marshmallows are just waiting for their all-around tan moment, which takes like 10 minutes. So 10 to 15 minutes in the oven. 350, 375. Your oven's probably a little bit hotter than that from the turkey. Tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. Any temperature your oven's at when your turkey comes out, that happens to be the perfect temperature for this. And just put it in the oven for like 10, 15 minutes, or until these guys melt down and they kind of create their little, you know. This is really good when it's brought to the table almost too hot. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather your turkey be kind of cold and your gravy lumpy and this hot. I mean, you know, it's all about the sides. So, you know, today I'm a complete worshiper of the perfect side dish, and an American one. This has really American stuff in it, like salt and pepper. All right, so I guess we'll go in the oven. Ava, can you put this in the oven for me?
Yeah, sure.
Do we put the pecans in now or after? Great. I happen to make my recipe right. So Ava's putting that in the oven. We're going to cook that for like 10 minutes or so. What are we doing now? Up. And 10 minutes are gone. Look at that. And then check out that little caramel there in the bottom that melds with the sweet potatoes. That's gold too. I have picked the top off this and eaten all of them and then rebroiled with another set of marshmallows. That is completely acceptable. If you are making your dinner for everybody, you do whatever you want. You have license to do whatever. Peel the top off the mac and cheese, peel the top off the lasagna, peel the top off this, have yourself a little snack, and then just rebroil them all. And then for a last little kind of crunchy bit, this does need a little bit of texture, and I think a little bit of sort of richness from something. And I wonder what that could be. Does anybody know anybody who has an ingredient they could help me out with? Ava?
I got some chopped pecans for you.
You do, all right. Do you think that's good on here?
Yeah, and also like adds a little bit of bitterness.
That's really true. Nuts have a little bitterness. You trying to be smarter than me, kid, or what? All right, she is smarter than I am. Does anybody feel like their kids are smarter than they are? She's as tall as I am and smarter. Do you hear the sound? Can you hear the sound of this falling? Is that like rain, a light smattering of summer rain on the roof? Does that not make you want to eat? Come on. It's amazing. Like food just tells its own story. We just move the boat along in the water. Such a great texture too. I love when you sprinkle them all around the edges, so when people scoop the corner pieces, the pecans fall down in the crevices. I don't like to bake them into the dish because they get super soggy. I want them to be crunchy. You could mix half in while you bake it so they're integrated and sprinkle half on top if you like. But I like this as kind of filler for all those little bits. It's making me so hungry. If you feel like it, add the tiniest sprinkle of salt just to finish this off. Just a tiny little bit. Salt right on top of the marshmallow. It's like when you get salted caramel ice cream and you get that one little burst of salt. That's the same here. Because marshmallows, they're sweet. They can take it, you know? They're good people, marshmallows. They deserve love. I'm championing the marshmallow this Thanksgiving for Feast Week.
All right, you want to answer some questions?
Yeah, let's get some Q&A going.
All right, Ava.
All right. So from Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Do you think this would reheat well?
Lucy, I totally think this will reheat well. Also, if people, for example, if you heat it and people eat it and whatever, you can literally drop a new layer of marshmallow on and rebroil it and get a new layer every time. The sweet potatoes are sturdy enough that they can take the heat, cool, reheat. That's why it's a very user-friendly dish. You could bring this to a friend's house like this, or bring it with the marshmallows unbaked and throw it in their oven for 10 minutes. That's why I like it. I like a portable dish. You don't know what to bring people. Everybody brings a store-bought pie. You could bring this and just separate yourself from your friends.
All right. Another question from Natalie.
Hi, Natalie.
What are your thoughts on deep fried turkey?
Natalie, I love a deep fried turkey. It is something to approach with great caution. My one tip about a deep fried turkey is get a vessel that is largely large enough to handle your turkey. Put your turkey in it, cold, in the pan or vessel beforehand to make sure it fits. Fill it halfway with water, and your turkey's still wrapped in the plastic. Put it in the water to submerge it to see how high that oil or water will rise. Do that test run cold before you do it. The other thing I love about deep fried turkey is you're not really going to make a gravy, so brine it so it's super salty, and it's kind of like doing like a fried chicken shortcut for Thanksgiving. And Natalie, if you have the ability, I don't know where you live, fry it outside. You know what I mean? Burn up the sidewalk. Don't do it in the middle of your kitchen with your old oak wooden floors from 3 generations. Don't do it. Natalie, don't feel the pull of that fried turkey. Listen to me.
All right. Another question from Valerie. She is specifically a huge fan of your recipes.
Hi, Valerie. Thank you.
She wants to know what's the best cheese for green bean casserole.
I actually really like a Gruyere, a grated Gruyere. That's my favorite. That kind of 2% barnyard and 98% just salty cheese. Just, I like to buy a chunk of it and just grate it on a grater coarsely, kind of big, thick. And then if you have it, a little sprinkle of Parm in there. Just a little Parmigiano Reggiano gives it that salt. You know, you got that can of Parm in the back of your fridge or that plastic container, you didn't use all of it. Throw a little bit of that on there. And my last comment is about green bean casserole is whatever cheese you have in your fridge sounds great. You know what I mean? It's Thanksgiving. You got to do what you got to do. I maybe would skip the blue cheese. Save that for the late night sandwich or the turkey cranberry sandwich in the middle of the night the day after.
All right, another question from Brian.
Brian, I thought it was ladies' night up in here, and then Brian appears on the scene. Hello, Brian.
Do you like cranberry sauce in the jar or homemade?
Brian, you really put me on the spot here. Do I like canned cranberry or homemade? You know, my father opened a can of cranberry sauce every Thanksgiving my whole childhood. He would put it on a plate and it would jiggle all around and almost fall off, and it'd have like the indentation marks from the can. I love it. I gotta have it. I gotta have that slice of cranberry that just won't move. Like the whole world could go away and this canned cranberry sauce would be just fine. I like a slice of that on my sandwiches too. It's nice and even and neat. I also make homemade every year, so I gotta have both. I don't pick on that front. But people that are too snotty to have a can of cranberry sauce, they're not my people. Don't be snotty, people. You use that canned pumpkin, you use that canned cranberry. I know you do. I'm with it.
Okay, we have our last question.
Last question.
All right, from Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
When can we see you on TV next?
When can we next see you on TV? Does that feel a little on brand to you? You can see me tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Food Network for the finale of the Ultimate Thanksgiving Challenge. I had so much fun making this with Giada, who just loves a laugh. She loves to snack and talk Thanksgiving. And Christian Petroni, the new Food Network star, and Carla Hall. The four of us just made a band of hooligans. This was super fun to make as a show, and I really love the winner. So thanks for tuning in here. Make your life easier. I'm just gonna get a fork or something, and I'm just gonna eat the whole thing. See you next time.